Hey everyone, I'm Lizartino and today I will give official Pokemon the Zephyr Prime treatment. See, I launched a poll on both YouTube and Instagram for a spin-off video and you have voted for Zephyr Prime for the official Pokemon by a landslide. And since I already said the Johto starters will be there, why not begin with them? Before that, I must remind everyone of what Zephyr Prime is. Zephyr Prime is the name of my region gimmick, which turns fully evolved Pokemons into monotype forms, giving them an ability and a neat trick called Gale Moves. These Gale Moves are like custom Z moves, with guaranteed side effects but can only be used once and will revert the Pokemon back to its original form after said moves. Like your average gimmick, it's the one used per comeback, so you gotta think twice before launching this into the battle. Design-wise, these gimmicks work like a Mega Evolution, with a bit of convergent regional mindset since it's a radical type switch. The only thing to keep in mind is the wind rolls spinning below the Pokemon's feet like a magical circle, along with the rolls colors matching the revealed Zephyr Prime type. If you want a detailed explanation, be sure to watch the Zephyr Prime video. You won't regret it. That leaves us with one more question. Why did I pick the Johto starters to begin with? Well, first off, they don't get enough love. Don't get me wrong, there are still people who like them, but I noticed they aren't as liked as the other starters. Maybe it's because they're all monotype compared to the next generation. Maybe it's because of what people think of Gen 2 as a whole. Or maybe it's the third generation starters being spoiled to the point they're eclipsing the other starters' existence. I'm looking at you, Charizard, king of spoiled brats with his 2 Mega Evolution. Point is, these 3 needs to be treated with love and care, and I'm going to do that, using my fancy whimsy magical gimmick. Plus, I'm planning on giving the Johto starters at the end of the main Oxystar storyline, so there's that. I'll start with Meganium, since it's basic tradition to begin with the grass starter. I first planned the Johto Zephyr Prime trio to be fire, ground and ice, but turns out I didn't have any proper idea coming for fire-type Meganium. I switched the trio to ground, steel and ice, and that's where I got it. The first thing that came to mind when making Zephyr Prime Meganium is the beauty of the desert. A flower standing out in a harsh wasteland, in a sense. Ever heard of a super bloom phenomenon with the desert? That's a real thing in our world, it's actually very pretty to look at. For what I've gathered, there are plant seeds beneath a desert soil, but they lay dormant until a big rain washes over them. When it happens, you get a great scenery of different flowers. The most impressive so far is the Atacama Desert in Chile. It's a wonderful phenomenon not only due to the diversity of plants, but also due to how rare that happens since, deserts don't get that much water on a yearly basis.
Desert beauty. Once every 4 years, this wonder brings desert back to life. To see this is synonymous with fortune and good health.
Mix the desert blooming phenomenon with the Illuminat Meganium from new Pokemon Snap and you got a majestic Brontosaurus for the most desolate desert. The ground type is a good defensive type for this boy, who is known as the hardest to begin with in Gen 2 runs. His Gale move is Drying Wonder, a display of the Super Bloom phenomenon that drains the target HP in order to regain its original beauty. Yes, Zephyr Prime Meganium is using your water in your body to regenerate in itself. Hope you got water or food to refill that blood with your pet. Then it's time to get into Typhlosion, the angry badger that loses its very crest upon getting a 3D model. Well, it didn't lose it per se, it's just that without it, it's no longer intimidating. That's a thing I want to keep, because that's one of its main features, my friend. It's an honey badger for fuck's sake. Sorry for the shiny Zodiac squad. My fire starter is a snake, if that makes you better. Thankfully, the steel type gave us a neat material to implement. Ferrofluid. Did you see that weird ink black fluid that reacts to magnetism by sprouting spike as in trying to reach the source? That's ferrofluid, and the ideal Typhlosion uses this as an intimidation tactic or even as an attack. It is such a good opportunity. Midway through the sketching process, I figured these ferrofluid spikes are perfect for a punk-like design. Plus, Obstagoon definitely helped with the Hokuto no Ken outlaw vibe I was looking for.
Magnet Punk. It drives the madness and desolation of the world. To this crude, evil and chaos are her tools for survival.
If Hisuian Typhlosion went into a calm approach, Zephyr Prime Typhlosion went all live with that punk vibe of his. If I were you, this thing is the face of delinquency, so you better lay it down, or feel a beat down like you've never seen before. His Gale move is Wrecking Star, where he covers himself in ferrofluid and rolls straight into you at max speed. The impact is so great, the ferrofluid will spread and solidify into Iron Spike on the target's side. Hope you got something to clean up this mess, because otherwise you got yourself into deep trouble. And now, time for Feraligatr, who is my go-to Gen 2 starters. This one was unsurprisingly easy to find. The moment he learns Ice Things, I make sure to keep it, because oh boy that move saved me many times. I always felt this guy would be Water Ice if he were to have a Mega Evolution. And this is why I made him into Albino Deviljho. Albino because white crocodiles I think are genuinely scary. And the gimmicks Deviljho because that thing is brutal. Remember the Pokédex entries? They are brutal, just like Mr. Pickle T-Rex from Monster Hunter. And I'd added a spoonful of Winter Hunger, the kind only found in Wendigos.
Sub-Zero Hunger. A walking terror from the time before man, whose appetite is never satiated. Furious urge growl, run for your life.
An albino starving alligator with a literal ice jaw to rival Tyrantrum. What's not to love? I'm also super proud of the design, because Feraligatr is my fave Gen 2 starter. His Gale move is Devour's Sympathy, where he will fist on your entire body with his frozen jaws. His act is so brutal and gruesome, the target will be frozen out of fear. If you truly fear the frozen status, smack the croc before he eats you. That's actual advice. And there you go. I have shown you the first 3 official Pokemon who got a Zephyr Prime form. What do you think about them as a whole? Did you like them? By the way, I'll call this format Zephyr Priming, because that's the best title I ever found. If you want specific fully evolved Pokemon, feel free to tell me down in the comments below. As usual, if you like my videos, feel free to subscribe, activate the funny bell, or even join my Discord if that suits your fancy. Until then, see you next time. Ciao tout le monde!